Hello students, you're welcome to today's class. We are looking at equation involving fraction. I know you might have not done something like equation involving fraction, but I know you've done something like fraction before. And the process, the step in which you use in doing a fraction is the same step we are going to apply here in this topic. So the only thing is that we have two forms that equation with fraction can exist. The denominator can be monomial, and the denominator can be what? Binomial. So our specific objective is that at the end of this lesson, we should be able to solve simple equation with what? Monomial denominators and simple equation with binomial denominators. So we are starting with the first specific objective, which is what? Equation with monomial denominator. The first thing we need to know is that whenever fraction is involved in any problem, you know that LCM, which is lowest common multiple, is inevitable. We know that to solve simple equation, it is very easy, like ABCD, because you have been taught from your primary school up to this level. But now we want to spice it up with what? Equation with what? Fraction. So looking at the first equation is a simple equation, which is what? 2x plus 5 is equals to x plus 7. This is a simple linear equation. And in a simple linear equation, something like this, the first thing you do, you collect like terms. What are the like terms here? 2x and x, 5 and 7 are like terms. 2x and x will be like terms in one side of the equation, and 5 and 7 will be another like term in the other side of the equation. So by collecting like terms here, you see my equation here, I have what? 2x minus s is equal to 7 minus 5. 2x minus x, you find out that the coefficient of the first s is 2 and the coefficient of the second x is what? 1. So 2 minus 1 is what? 1x. Instead of writing 1x, we just put x, because x is the same thing as what? 1x. So x is equal to what? 7 minus 5 gives you what? 2. That simply means that from the original problem, x is representing what? 2. So now we are looking at what? Equation where the denominator is monomial denominators. So now in this case, anytime you found any equation that involve fraction, the first step for you to take, it is how can I clear this fraction so that the equation can be in a linear form. Because if the equation is in linear form, you can easily what? Solve the problem without hesitation. So the first thing we need to do, it is to what? Dictate the LCM of the word denominator. From the example above, you see my EG is equals to what? Y minus y over 6 is equals to 5 over 2. So you see y over 6 means the denominator is 6. 5 over 2, the denominator is what? 2. So looking for the LCM of the denominators, 6 and 2, we also have 6 as the LCM. After getting the LCM, the next thing you should do, it is to multiply each term by the LCM. When you multiply each term by the LCM, you find out that the fractions will be cleared. Look at this, 6 times x, 6 times y, minus 6 open bracket y over 6 equal to 6 open bracket y 5 over 2. So 6 divided by 6 will give you 1. That is why we have what? Y there. Then 6 times y gives us what? 6y. Then 6 divided by 2 will give us 3. Use the 3 to multiply 5, you will have what? 15. Just look at the equation. Now the equation is as simple as our previous one, which we called what? Simple linear equation. So when your equation is in linear form, then you can solve it the way you solve simple linear equation. So you find out that 6y minus y will give us what? 5y. So when you have 5y is equal to what? 15. The next thing you should do, you should look at the LC and the coefficient of the what? Variable. The coefficient of the variable, you use the coefficient to divide each term. You use the coefficient to divide both sides of the word equation. So when you use 5 to divide 5y, you will have what? Y. And when you use 5 to divide what? 15, you will have what? 3. That means that y is equal to what? 3. So now, look at this practical example. We said what? Solve the equation 2y is equal to 5y plus 1 all over 7 plus 3y minus 5 all over 7. In this case, the denominators are what? 7 and 2. Looking for the LCM of the denominators, we have 14. The 14 we have there, we use it to what? Multiply each term, which is what? 14 open bracket 2x, 2y, close bracket, equal to 14 open bracket 5y plus 7 all over 7, close bracket, plus 14 open bracket 3y minus 5 all over 2. Then close the bracket. So if you look at 14 divided by 7, you will have what? 2. Then 14 divided by 2 will give you what? 7. So you see the next step, you see something like 14 open bracket 2y close bracket is equal to 2 open bracket 5y plus 1 close bracket plus 7 open bracket 3y minus 5 close bracket. I know you've done something like expansion previously. Expansion means that you are using every item that is outside the bracket to multiply each term that is inside the bracket. So you see that what? 14 times 2 gives us what? 28, where we have what? 28y is equal to 5y times 2 gives us what? 10y. Then 1 times 2 gives us what? 2. Then 7 times 3y will give us 21y. Minus 5 times 7 will give us minus 35. So from here we collect our like terms, which all the y's should go to one side of the equation and all the constants should be at the other side of the equation. So therefore 10y will move to the other side to meet what? 28y, and also 21y will move to the other side to meet what? 28y. So you know that equal to is a barrier to every item. Whenever any item crosses the equal sign, it cannot remain what? The same. If it is positive, it will become negative. And if it is negative, it will become what? Positive. So if you look at 10y, it's positive. 20y is what? Positive. But when they move to the other side, they becomes what? Negative. Minus 10y and minus 20y. So 28y minus 10y is supposed to give us 18y. So if you subtract 21 again from what? 18y, you have negative 3y. So if you have 2 minus 35, we give you what? Minus 33. So divide both sides by the coefficient of y. What is the coefficient of y? The coefficient of y here is what? Minus 3. When you divide both sides by minus 3, you will have what? Y to be equal to 11. I hope this thing is as simple as I expected it to be. So I just dropped 2 exercises for you so that you can use this one to solve this problem. Just 2 simple exercises before we go to the last word, specific objective, which is what? Simple equation with binomial denominators. Binomial. You know what is binomial in mathematics? Anytime you hear binomial, we are talking about what? 2 unlike items connected by either plus or minus. 2 unlike items connected by either plus or minus. Most especially a variable and a number, or a variable and another different variable together, connected by what? Plus or minus. So when we have something like that, we consider it, if you look at it very well, they have 2 terms, but because they are standing as the denominator of a variable or of a number, they become what? A single term. We consider it to be what? A single term. So when you are looking for the LCM, don't say that you have x and you have plus 2. Or you feel you have x and you have minus 2. No, it's a complex term. So if you want to consider the LCM, it is what? X plus 2. You look at it as what? X plus 2. Your mother and father, they are all together as what? 1. They might be of different tribe, they might be of different religion, but anything that brings them together makes them to become what? 1. That is binomial denominators. So the x and the variable, joining them together becomes what? 1. So now I have a simple problem here, which we have what? 7 all over 3a plus 1 is equals to what? 2 all over a. The binomial in this expression here is 3a plus 1. 3a plus 1 is the binomial. So we consider 3a plus 1 as one item, and the other denominator is what? A. So when you find the LCM becomes what? A open bracket 3a plus 1. That is the LCM. If you find the LCM of what? 3a plus 1 and a, it will give you what? A open bracket 3a plus 1. So when you have 3a plus 1, you look at the next step. I use the LCM to multiply each term, which what? A open bracket 3a plus 1 close bracket open bracket 7 all over 3a plus 1 close bracket is equal to what? A open bracket 3a plus 1 open bracket 2 over a. So you look at the LCM, they have at least out of the two LCM, there is one corresponding item at the denominator that can be what? Cancelled. If you look at the first item here, 3a plus 1 is in the LCM and 3a plus 1 is at the denominator of 7. So when 3a plus 1 cancel 3a plus 1, we have only a to multiply what? 7. So the next one is that we have another one, a open bracket 3a plus 1 open bracket 2 all over a. So this a will cancel the a, we will have what? 3a plus 1 remaining. So that simply means that it is 2 that we open the bracket of what? 3a plus 1. So we use what? A to multiply 7, we have what? 7a. Then we use 2 to multiply what? 3a, we have what? 6a. Then we use the same 2 again to multiply plus 1, we have what? Plus 2. So at this step now, the next thing you do, you collect your what? Like terms. Collecting like terms, 6a move to the other side, it becomes minus 6a. 2 will now be what? 2, because we didn't move 2. So 7a minus 6a will give us what? A. And your a will be what? Equal to 2. Though the answer is simple, but the procedure is always what? Difficult. It is very, very essential for you to understand fraction very, very well, because in mathematics, if they want to make any problem to be what? Very complex, they will always express them in what? Fraction. So fraction is another method or another form to make problem more difficult for you. So I have two exercises here, and the two exercises, they are not easy here. So I want you to look at it very well. If you look at in this exercise 1, the two numbers have binomials as their denominator. So please and please observe the way I use the binomial. Though in my first example I have only one binomial, but in this case you have two binomials. So you are going to still what? Use the same procedures for the two. So use them to multiply, and also you cancel, expand it, then you what? Have a simple equation. So please and please solve these two, and I will pass other information to you on Wednesday on where to submit my assignment. You'll see it in your WhatsApp page, so that I can find a means of marking it and also record them as easy as possible. So thanks for watching.